Yo, what's up, everybody? So, welcome in. If you're tuning in on Facebook, if you're tuning in on YouTube, welcome, welcome. This is episode 2 of The Great Escape. Check it out. You guys are in for a treat. I'm going to be jumping into a meeting that I have with my partner. This partner, he and I have been working together for about a year now. We do our fix and flips, we do our buy and holds. And when we got together, it was like we were just figuring things out on the run, figuring things out on the fly. There was no system in place. I learned how to put systems together and organization together from later endeavors, working with other people, doing other businesses. And he and I are now actively learning how to put our business together in the sense of like implementing level 10 meetings. So right now we're about to jump into a meeting. He has no idea that we're going to be recording this. He's got no clue, but you guys are about to just see a true like unfiltered version of our meeting. Now if it gets to the point where I think there's going to be some like information that maybe shouldn't be shared live, I will momentarily mute out, so be aware of that. But for the most part, I'm going to try and be as transparent as possible. At the same time, I want to respect any sort of things that might be a little too private, so I'm going to give him a call right now. And Drew and I are going to get caught up to speed. We've got some fires to put out in our business, but that is entrepreneurship.
Hey, what's up, Marlon?
Hey, what's happening, Drew? How you feeling today, man?
Pretty good. And yourself?
Dude, I'm feeling way better. Feeling good now.
Great. Glad to hear it.
Yep.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Just yesterday was like this week was a long week with a couple of other deals that we're working on, like out here in Arizona, just like things that needed underwriting, people needed responses. So just some fires to put out.
Like always, right?
Dude, they never end. Is this still a good time? I know like 12 o'clock is a little different schedule.
Yeah, no, I'm okay right now to go over things.
Okay, perfect. Cool. So then let's jump into this. I like in front of me right now, like I'm in front of the computer, so I got like basically the same sort of setup that we had before, with like that meeting, like the same structure. So I'm just gonna start the clock on it, and then we can jump right into the meeting.
That's good.
All right, awesome. So sweet. We got the first thing going, which is Segway. So basically just checking in, man. So I mean, personal best and business best, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say getting that property under contract right away. That was so awesome. So, I mean, I would put that as the top of the list for everything.
Dude, I feel you, man. That definitely was phenomenal. And then what about personal best, bro? That like personal too?
That's personal. Yeah, that's personal and business right there. It's all combined.
No, I feel that.
Yeah, how about you?
I love it, man. Personal best, bro, I think is gonna be just being grateful, like just waking up, being grateful and all. And then business best, dude, I gotta say I'm enjoying like getting back to having these meetings, being able to check back in. And I think we're moving a little bit better with like having Tim reach out and do the updates, and getting back to us with the updates.
Mm-hmm.
And it also looks like the rentals, like we've been getting a lot of hits on the rental property that we just threw up on Zillow, the Branting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing should be rented by this weekend.
Yep.
By Monday, so we should be able to get that thing refinanced hopefully pretty quick here.
Awesome. Anything else? Any other personal business?
I do not. No, I don't have anything.
All right, cool. Right now we still don't have any scorecards. We have no data really. The rock review, essentially the biggest rocks that we have right now, it looks like are just getting the properties refied and then getting the flips, the renovations done.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, like, are we on track or off track with our refis?
So, I mean, you'd have to tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, we're on track. The only thing we're waiting for is with 51st Street, and we'll dive into this in a little bit, like in the issue section. But I would say right now we're on track for the refis, as long as we get everything leased up. And then the flips, are we on track or off track with the flips?
So 1813 just went live today. I just sent you the text of it. So I mean, I would say that one's good, and that we're just waiting on that what we can with Alberto in the South Milwaukee one.
Okay, perfect. So then let's pull up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the like to-do list that we had from before and see if we got everything through on the to-do list. Just so you know, like on my side of the screen too, I got like the same list that we were working on before from last week.
Okay.
All right, so last week for our to-do list, we got most of this stuff done. So we had to get Alberto the money for the architect. Did we get that one done?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Call Section 8 for 2162 North 35th. I got that done. I spoke with Raquel yesterday. She was super helpful. Found out that so Reggie's contribution, we have been getting his contribution. His contribution is only 290 like $1. I forget exactly. I put it on our rent roll sheet. But essentially he owes us about 400 and something dollars for the last 3 months from each month.
Okay, so he owes us.
Yeah, he owes us money. So he owes us essentially 3 months worth of rent, but Section 8 covered his portions.
Okay, so he's not on 2162 North 35th. He's at
No,
1232 North 31st Street.
Yep.
So have you gotten a hold of him and got him set up with apartments?
No, I called him like 7 times yesterday. It just kept going straight to voicemail. So I texted him. I didn't get any response via text message, but like I know he can text because he and I have texted in the past and he's answered in the past. So I'm gonna try him again today.
Okay. Yeah. So as long as we can get that and get him set up, then I think we're good.
Yep. And then as far as getting a tenant inside there, Raquel sent over an email. And she included me with their leasing, like their person to put up the listing for the leasings for 2162.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna shoot her over that listing for that property.
Okay, because I reached out to Zillow and I don't know why it keeps getting deactivated. I literally sent them a message too.
That's where it got deactivated again.
Yeah, it's not active. I don't know why it's not staying up there.
All right, that's really weird. Okay, but so essentially North 35th will be up on the Section 8 board by the end of today, hopefully at least. Getting the photos for Branting Lane downstairs, you got that done?
Yep. Yeah. I mean that thing's ready. That thing's listed. Yeah.
Yep. And then I get the listing up on Zillow. I got that done. Reach out to the electrician and plumbers. I did not get that done. I did not reach out to any new electricians, and so I'll add that in here.
Okay. So I don't know if you want to chat about it real quick or not, but the listing that you posted for Branting Lane, there's a couple things missing on there that I went back and added, but essentially in the description, you got to make sure that you put like that whole thing that James had. So I just copied and pasted that from a different one and then just made a few additions there. So that place though too, that's a 4-bed, 1-bath lower and a 3-bed, 1-bath upper. So you had it listed as a 4-bed, 2-bath lower.
Okay, I think, and that's what I think they had it automatically set to that, and I've kept the settings. All right, so it's a 4-1 downstairs on Branting.
And a 3-1 upper. And then, yeah, so I just copied and pasted and put all that stuff in there. So it's really important, too, that we have the showing time in the description so that, when we get over there, it's not a nightmare with a billion questions on when the showing is.
Got it. All right. So yeah, I was going to ask you that because like when I'm setting the showing time, like it allows me to set basically just like 3 time blocks, which is morning, afternoon, and evening.
So just put it in the description.
Gotcha.
Just don't even worry about that stuff. I would say just put it in the description, and that should be good. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to look right now. I'm pulling it up on Zillow too to take a look at what you have there.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So essentially, like. Got it. So in the future, I'm just going to copy these and throw it up, like basically just repurpose this exact same thing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff that you have to alter, but I mean, for the most part, it's good. You got to put the right rates in there and the right bed bath and then small little updates. But for the most part, you can just, copy and paste what James did. Okay,
perfect. So there we go. So essentially, that's there with that. Is there anything else on that property?
On which one?
For Branting, yep.
No, I don't think there's anything else on Branting.
Okay, cool. So we had to get the electrician over on 4156 North 21st Street.
Yeah, I can't get a hold of him. I saw him. I went over there yesterday. It's pretty much ready to go, minus him and cleaning a little bit of stuff out that I would just move stuff around for pictures. Yeah, just need him to finish up his thing and respond to me. He said he was supposed to be done by yesterday at like 2 p.m., but I haven't heard anything yet.
All right, cool. So we'll figure out what to do for that. I'll throw that in here. We'll come back to it in a second as well. Cool, but and then so essentially the photos haven't been done for it yet, just because we're waiting for him to kind of clean up the wirings, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then once that's done, we'll get that listing uploaded. Talked with him about 51st Boulevard closing on 24th versus 10th. I spoke to him. Like I said, he said we'll get it done as soon as possible. So I'm going to follow up with him again today to see where the lenders are at with ordering the closing. I saw Jackie's email.
Property is this for?
That's for 51st Boulevard.
Okay. So he said it's going to close what day?
Well, he put remember that email, he had the estimated close of escrow, but he doesn't have a finite day yet. At least when I spoke to him 2 days ago, he didn't have a finite day yet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so it's just completely staying on top of him because we were both in that conversation,
Yep.
And he said 10 days. So he's got all his stuff. There's no reason why it shouldn't be 10 days if he told us it should be 10 days, or at least in my mind. So, I mean, I think it's really just about staying on top of it.
Yeah, so I'll give him a call again, like right after we wrap up. 1813 North 22nd, you already got that relisted?
Yep, I just sent you the pictures of it.
Okay, perfect. And then we got Kayla doing the siding for Branting. Did she already get that done?
She has not gotten that done yet, no.
Okay, well, are we still going to use her? She's the one we want to use?
Yeah, we're going to have her do it.
Okay, cool. So I'll just add that back on our to-do list.
Yeah, I'm hoping she should have it done by early next week.
Okay, sweet. So I'm gonna say maybe she'll get it done by next Wednesday.
Yeah, hopefully, so that we can have the full report to him and get it all done as soon as possible.
We already had the appraisal ran though, with Joe came and did so when he did the subject to appraisal, essentially all he has to do is just come back and sign off that everything's been done, right?
Well, no. So what we do is we run an individual subject to appraisal with him. Nothing through Tim. Nothing Tim needs to know about. And then when we're ready to do it with Tim, we say, Tim, order the appraisal. And then he goes back and he, does his appraisal. So he doesn't have to really update too much. He needs to get new pictures, which I can send to him. And then he, just finishes the report and gets it to him.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, all right. So that's actually really good to know because in my mind, I thought him having the subject to appraisal was him kind of coming back and confirming that work was done. But essentially, he's just saying hey, I'm running. Got you. It's a totally separate appraisal. He comes back and does a brand new appraisal, but he already pretty much knows the ballpark it'll be in.
Yeah, it should be the same exact price that we sent today.
Perfect.
So my question then on 51st Boulevard.
Yep.
His appraisal, did we get a loan amount from them?
With them, no. We didn't get we had that original loan amount last time that Tim produced. But then we saw how that fluctuated after we when it showed up time to closing, right? Because the original loan amount we had was 75%. Then at closing, the final loan was something different. So I could go pull up and see what Tim sent over.
That's why I asked for the closing statements. That's why I asked for the closing statements for 1232 North 31st Street today. We just, we got to get this stuff wrapped up ASAP. There's no reason why, we shouldn't be able to close 1232 North 31st Street on day 91.
Right.
We had all those things on lease. There's literally no reason. And then that saves us from having to do another payment to
our lenders. Yeah.
To the lenders, So we don't have to come up with it out of pocket.
Yeah, let me see here. I got the property intake form. No, yeah. So Tim doesn't have these filled out yet for us on our side. He didn't send it back yet, filled out.
Yeah. So I mean, I know it's a real pain in the ass for you to do it, but I think you kind of got to stay on top of Tim every 2 to 3 days and just say, hey, I'm checking in on this one, and have a separate email. Like, I don't know what your system is for it, but obviously it's a little different system for each one or whatever the case might be, but just having something standardized so you can just say, hey, here's all the information, Tim's in here, or Joe's in here, Joe get the appraisal, boom, you got the appraisal, you got everything you needed from us. When are we closing on that? Like just one subject line, I think would be super helpful, where there's an anticipated close date, so you're just holding him accountable and then just following up with it each time.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is give myself a task.
Basically, the 91st date, and the 91st date is the date we should be closing on all these loans.
Yeah, I mean, for that particular property, I think we were on, let me look at the date on that. That date should have been the 9th. That date should be today, essentially.
What's that?
I said, so for 51st, like the 90th date should be, like today's the 9th, so tomorrow's the 10th. It's like, that's when we're like at day 91.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you should look at it online because it's not always the same, because we bought March 14th. We bought that. Day 91 is June 13th.
Got you. Okay. Now I see what you're saying. What I'll do is I'll end up creating a calendar. I'll just create a calendar. Like we'll have a separate calendar for all the properties on the purchase date and then the potential refi date.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever we got to do, start communications with Tim 21 days early or whatever the case might be, so we can get the appraisal and everything like that. Because there's no reason why. Because that 31st Street, that's an as-is appraisal too. There's literally no reason on that one. And then 51st, yeah, there was work that needed to be done, but that appraisal by Tim should have been done, and we had it rented and all the work done, So there's really no holdups there, that shouldn't stop us from getting to a 91-day refi date. Juno, yes, there is, because there was substantial work that we couldn't get done before we could close on it, but those other ones, we can't let Tim or our lack of following up on it with Tim killing us from getting refied as quick as possible.
Yep. No, I got you. All right. So, I mean, I'll get on the phone with Tim right after. Usually, after our calls, is when I get back on the phone with Tim.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? So, essentially, I'm going to be giving Tim a call back about 54. I'm just going to be giving Tim a call about all the properties and just having the total walkthrough with him and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just got to get stuff done.
All right. Let's see here. The last thing we got is 4156 North 21st getting listed or getting leased up.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're just waiting on Clement to answer my phone so I can go back over there, take pictures, and get it listed. I mean, it was ideal if you would have gotten back to me yesterday, so I could have went in there, taken pictures, gotten that whole thing posted, and then we could have had showings on Saturday. But I think we're probably going to have showings on Sunday if I can get the pictures today, because we got to get that thing posted, so at least there can be some exposure before the showings.
Right. Any thought process on when Clement will be able to get a hold of?
I have no idea, man. I've called him, texted him 2 or 3 times yesterday, 2 or 3 times this morning, and texted him probably twice this morning.
It's so odd.
So,
I don't know what's going on with him.
He's just the worst. That's why I want a new electrician.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So, it's crazy.
All right. So, I mean, what's up?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, those are the main bullet points right now that we've got to address them.
Yeah. I mean, we just got to get things refinanced because we're really struggling on money. Because we got to get all this stuff closed and money back. We have I put another $5,000 of my own money in there today so we can get people paid before we get this refinance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we just did it. We're literally scraping by, and I don't want to put any more money of mine in there. And I just want to get that, but we're not sacrificing the contractors not getting paid,
No, 100%. So, I mean, right now.
We're already scraping by because we have to get we had to do more work on 22nd Street, and Scott had to do it. And I told him we're waiting for the refinance stuff to get him paid on that. So there's, a lot of stuff. Terrence has to get paid. We've got a lot of money that needs to be paid on Juno, and we're trying to get all that stuff done before we pay people. So, it's just a lot. We got to get these, getting the refinance money is what's going to hold us through until we get all of this wave completed.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of money locked up in equity in the refis right now.
I know. So we got to get them all.
Yep.
We got to get them all out.
All right. So essentially, the main priority then today, the only thing that matters is just getting the refis done. So really, that's just Tim following up on Tim heavy with 51st Boulevard. The listing, getting the properties leased out, which is going to be 21st, Branting, and eventually when 4156 21st, getting that leased out, getting Branting leased out, and then getting
we have
21
to get leased out too. We have to get them to sign that lease as soon as possible because
so
the work I already talked with Terrence, and we just did the whole thing, the whole walkthrough yesterday. It's for sure in order for him to get his money. Let's see, it's gonna be done by the 15th or something in 6 days. So in 6 days, that thing should be. Juno's
only looking to have one. We have one vacancy in Juno, right? Of those 4 units.
One vacancy.
Yeah, and that's the 2.
Have that Section 8 guy lined up at $800 a month.
We're doing 800, not 700.
Yeah, he's at 800.
Okay, I had him at 7, or I had that unit at 700.
That's Terrence, yeah, but they said they'd be willing to pay 800. So we're waiting for her to have that stuff and get the inspection done and whatever. But yeah, he should be moving in July 1st. So we want to all we have to do is get him to sign the lease, So we just need Terrence to get that thing done, and then we can get the pictures to Joe. Joe can get the report to him, and you can get it. So I would still say get it started and ask for Joe to run the report, and we'll just wait until the work's done. Once the work's done, then we'll send the pictures to Joe, and Joe will get the report in.
All right, so here's my question for Juno. Do we have current leases for all of the tenants inside there?
Yeah, they're all the 2 Section 8, and then Terrence at 700.
All right, cool, because inside of our Slack channel, I still only have their old leases, so I need copies of their new leases.
What's their new leases?
Whatever the new lease that Section 8 sent over.
Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that stuff.
Okay, so yeah, we need that ASAP because I sent over the old leases and those are expired already. So we need the we need updated leases. So although Section 8 approved them, when Section 8, if I recall correctly, the last time Section 8 approved our tenants, there was a lease agreement that came through with that approval.
I can't remember those nitty-gritties.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into that as well. So I'm just keeping track of this right now because if I don't write it down, what happens is I start to forget all the things.
And if there is, if we can re-sign them and we can get rent increases, that's the time to ask for it,
Well, we're locked in with the Section 8. The Section 8's already been approved. And they're locked in for a year. It's just a matter of us getting those lease agreements. I'm pretty sure we have them. I remembered seeing them. They just aren't in the Slack channel. So it's I'm keeping all the documents in the Slack channel. So for whatever reason, we don't have the new documents in the Slack channel.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to make sure that we get organized about that stuff too. And just putting everything in the same place. So we need Section 8 leases, updated leases. All right. So I'm going to get that right now as a to-do list as well. Yeah, so before we go on and acquire anything new, I want to kind of clean up everything we got going on first.
Yeah. I don't want to acquire anything until we get all this stuff.
All right, so I'll get that. I'll worry about getting the leases today. I'll go dig through the emails. If I can't find them in the emails, I'll give Raquel a call, and then she should have copies of them if she has copies with them. If she doesn't have copies of them, then what we'll do is, I don't know if you have availability today to maybe swing by the house. If like worst case scenario, we don't have copies, I'll try and send them over via email. But if they don't accept email, we could like go over to the house and just get them to sign leases right there on the spot, and we have copies.
Yeah, I mean, whatever we gotta do, we're getting it done so we can get refied.
Yep.
You know, like those are top priorities. That wipes away everything else.
Yep. All right, so that's Juno. Let me think. I'm gonna basically sit down and run through everybody. I want to see everybody's updated leases. 'Cause I know most of them we have their updated leases because we just did those other 3 refis. So let's worry about that first. Actually, I would say like those are the most important things, like getting the electrician over to 4156, and then getting the leases together for Juno, and then I'll just follow up with Tim about every refi. Do you feel like right now anything is more pressing than those current issues?
No, I don't think anything's more important because we're at refi date. You know.
Yep.
Like,
All right, cool. So I mean, I think those should be the things, the top priorities here. So I mean, I'll take care of Tim and the Juno stuff. You could see if you could wrangle up Clement, or if not Clement, I don't know, somebody on the streets to do some
Yeah, no,
electricity.
he was there yesterday, so I mean, I'm going over to the house. I'm gonna call him a few more times and see what the fuck is going on, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm at my wits end with that guy. So if you hear of anybody as an electrician that's, you know, a one-stop shop, just let me, or like a one-guy show, just let me know. I'd
Yep.
love to start with somebody new.
Yep, no, I got you. So yeah, those are gonna be the most important things there. All right, cool. I mean, is there anything outside of that then, like, should I like I don't even want to add anything more on the to-do list if like those are the most pressing things. Like I just want to go tackle those right now.
Yeah, that's all I really care about. This 22nd Street's listed. Alberto's doing his thing on Minnesota. I just want all those things refied. You know?
Perfect. Yep, I'm in the
So-
same boat. We gotta go
So
free up at least like
that's all I have. You know, let's get those things done. We can get all the other systematic stuff done later. But yeah, just getting 51st branding. I mean, because 51st, we should get about 10 to 15 grand there on the refi.
Mhm.
Branding, we should get like 40 on Branting's refi.
Yep.
21st Street, we should get about 60. So that puts us at 115. Then I think for the 2 4 families, we should get about 30 grand each. So call that another 60 grand. So we're at like 170 roughly. You know, once we get all these things refinanced, then we're good, you know, and then we've got the other one closing on July 7th or whatever. And
Yeah, 22nd or 2nd Street.
yeah, and then we're fine. You know, we just got to get these things and then we're out of the water.
Yep. All right, cool. I mean, like I like it. This is like fourth quarter final stretch.
Yeah. Yep. So we just got to focus on that and staying on top of it all. So, cool. Yeah. Anything else?
No, man. I think we're good for now. I mean, I'm gonna jump off of this call and give Tim a call right away. The biggest thing right now is just to conclude essentially what it got here, which is call Tim for 51st Boulevard and all the other refis. You're gonna go check on 4156 so that we can get that one leased up and leased out as soon as possible. I'm gonna go find all of our leases. Make sure that we have. I'm gonna put all of the leases. They're already in the Google. I don't know how often you go into the Google Drive. Whatever documents that I do have on every property is in the Google Drive, and then it's also doubled up on the Slack channel. So if you ever like don't see something, if it's not there, it means I don't have it. So I'll let you know if there's any documents that like I don't have. Also, if you talk to Jackie or Heather, I don't know. Whenever we close, is it possible for you to like just tell them like automatically, like, hey, send us a HUD statement? Because like they never send it to me. I don't know if they send it to you, but they never send me the buyer side HUD whenever we buy anything. Like they never send us our HUD statements. So I don't know if you're
Yeah.
getting them.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's so annoying because everybody sends different email lines and everything like that, so it's always so fucking hard to find stuff. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean we can send something to them or whatever, but I don't know. I call it you're talking like the closing statement, right?
Yeah, because I mean, like they're usually fast about like whenever I ask them for it, it's just like that additional step of having to ask them for it because like they're just not automatically sending it, and like I don't know, in my mind, I kind of feel like that's like you should automatically be sent that it's like a receipt.
Yeah, I don't know if they're not sending it to you and they're sending it to me. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but yeah, I mean they should be sending it to both of us right away.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, so I mean, we'll figure it out. Like we'll definitely, maybe not this weekend, but maybe and not even next weekend. But like I said, at the end of the month, like we'll sit down and then like we'll have like a day that's totally like us not running in and out of fires all day, and we'll like kind of just sit down and like map out like, hey, in an ideal world, how do we want to systematically like us at internally run the business?
yeah,
You know, because
I mean I would be totally for like just every week, adding one more date where we chat, and just kind of going over all the little like because right now we're doing just things that we normally do, but going over how can we smoothen stuff out like piece by piece.
yeah, I mean, I'm so game for that. I mean, like essentially, like we could pick a day on the weekend, and like it's just like a buddy of mine like was telling me like this is how he did his business. Like Monday through Friday, he and his wife worked in their business, but then like on the weekends they worked on the business. You know.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Like I think on a Sunday, like Sunday morning, maybe around like 10, I
Hmm.
think that's a good day for me to just kind of like go over and regroup on that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
I yeah, I mean, I can make that time. This weekend, it's only going to be a bit problem this weekend because I'm going to be in Baltimore for my buddy's wedding, and then the following weekend I'm going to be in Cincinnati for a job.
I love Baltimore.
Oh yeah, get out of here, bro.
City. My cousin used to live there. So I'd visit him. That'll be fun.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward. This is my first time being in Baltimore, like not just driving through it.
Nice. Cool. Yeah,
Yep.
so I'd say probably actually Saturdays are better if I think about it because we have a Monday, a Thursday, and then Saturday, so we have like a day off in between
Yeah.
all of them.
So Saturday, what do you think? Like 10 a.m. on Saturdays as well?
Yeah, maybe 9, a little bit earlier.
So 9 might be a little early for me. That's gonna be like 7 my time. And Monday through Friday, I'm still waking up at like 3:30 on my side.
Okay.
Um,
So what time are you waking up on Saturdays?
Saturdays, I usually wake up like around like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So like if I have
Okay.
like just like a breather, like a bit of breather room as soon as I wake up, so I'm not just jumping right into it.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So then let's do 10 a.m. on Saturdays. Just 10 a.m. all the time.
all right, perfect,
All right, cool. Well,
cool.
let's do that. It sounds like a good plan.
All right, Drew. I'm gonna give Tim a call. If you need anything at all, man, just let me know. And also Marvin texted me, so I'm gonna talk to Marvin later and see like what the heck's going on with him.
Marvin texted you, tell him to call me.
Got
So
you.
he's just unreal. But yeah, okay. All right, thanks, man.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Later. All right. So there you have it. You got to watch. This is the most disorganized business that I currently own. However, it's also the business that's making us the most money, which is really freaking funny. And like it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. And that's straight up like that's the good, the bad, the ugly right there. So let me stop sharing my screen. That's genuinely the good, the bad, the ugly right there with that. Still very actively putting it all together. You see it there. Like we've got a lot of stuff that are in process of being refinanced. We probably have like about $160,000 of like tax-free refinance money waiting for us to gather. But we're putting together the systems and the processes. Like Drew and I freaking love this guy just for the fact that he honestly, like, no matter what we get into, he's just there with a freaking smile on his face. We've already done some flips together. We already have properties that we refied together. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So right now, I'm going to get on the phone with our lender, Tim, and see what's going on. I'm going to have a full sit down and walk through with Tim. So before I do that, here's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I want to make sure I have a list of properties that I can get through with Tim. So the first one that's most pressing is the 51st Boulevard. So let me actually pull that up here. All right, so we're doing 4145 North 51st. We've got 1232 North 31st. All right. ASAP, we need that refied. ASAP, we need this refied. West Junia, we need that refied. That one we got a little bit of time on because we haven't hit the 90-day mark. Um, 4156, we need that rented. And those are the properties that we're currently looking on getting refied. 1232 North 31st. Do I have that written down? Yep. So that's our fourplex. That's fully rented. This is the fourplex. We're waiting for one unit to get rented. This is the 4145 is the single family. North 51st Boulevard. Let me see what is that property. Yeah, that's our single family home. That's already rented. And 4156 North 21st Street, we're waiting. So let's give Tim a call. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, like it is like scary right now when not scary actually. I'm not scared to be honest. It's actually like it's interesting. I have new problems that I never had before. So I'm like grateful to be learning through them. So every day isn't just about sitting down and making phone calls of that nature to like their stress sellers. It's also about like cleaning up and actively building my business, right? Actively putting together like the right systems and processes. So what's actually really cool for me is a part of why I'm recording this as well is I'm going to come back and sit down and look at this later and see like, okay, like let's slow it down and figure out where we need to clean up and where we need to dial in and figure things out, right? Brand new to implementing the level 10 meeting structure for this particular business. So things aren't set up perfectly for it yet, but it will get there. So let's give Tim a call. You guys are gonna hear me talk to my
hold while I try to connect you.
lender.
Hello, you've reached Tim Bago with House Lending. I'm unavailable to take your call right now, so leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, Tim. This is Marlon. I was giving you a follow-up call. Wanted to get caught up to speed with where we're at with closing on North 51st Boulevard. Give me a call back when you get a chance. You have the number. It's 516. All right, so we're gonna wait for Tim to give a call back. In the meanwhile, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look through my emails for my leases. So in the meanwhile, you guys are gonna just hang out and watch me go through that and clean that up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close a couple of these tabs because I don't need them open right now because that's not the focus. Right, I don't need my CRM open right now. That's not today's focus. This accountability sheet is good. We can leave that open. Awesome. Loan amount for, there we go. 1232. 116,250 bucks. Oh, cool. We actually have a pretty good interest rate on that one. Why did we get a whole point lower on that one? 41. Wow. 41, 45. And Junior. That's so interesting. That's a lot of money that we're getting back on that property. All right, perfect. So I'm going to send this over to Drew as well. So here's what I'm going to do, actually. You guys are going to get to see, like, if you're hanging out with me right now, you're actually going to get to see my screen as I go through this. I'm going to share my screen. Share. I think it would be cool, right? I think it would be pretty interesting for you guys to see this, right? So here are some of the properties, right? So this is what it looks like to get a sheet back. So you see, like, this is like what we're getting back from our lender. Look at these crazy interest rates right now. Insane. And like these PITIs are nuts. Luckily, like this is a 4-unit, so we're pulling in like something around like a little over like 21 or 2200 for this property. So although the mortgage is high, the interest rate's high, we're still cash flowing quite a bit on this property. Same thing with this property. We're cash flowing, not as heavy though. The 4145 North 51st. If I look and see what we're pulling in for that property, the 4145 North 51st Boulevard, I actually don't think. Here we go. 1345. So we're literally not pulling in a ton on that property at all, because it's such a high interest rate, right? But we're going to get a lot of equity back out of it. So it's going to be basically a break even on this property. Luckily, with that particular tenant, we had an arrangement set up where they paid for the year up front. I believe that was like our agreement with them, which made it like pretty happy and lucrative. And what we're going to end up doing is at some point down the road, refinancing when these rents come back down. So I'm going to screenshot these and I'm going to upload these to my Slack channel. So what I'm going to do is, here's what I want to do. Perfect. We're going to save this. Done. We're going to save this. And we're going to save this. All right, cool. So let's actually upload each of those in. Screenshots. All right, which one was this? West June. 33. Shout out to Anna for teaching me how to put together a Slack channel for my properties. Tim's projected refi. Okay. These interest rates are crazy. The reason these interest rates are so crazy, by the way, it's their DSCR loans. So the nice thing about these interest rates or like these loans is like we don't have to personally qualify. Had we been able to personally qualify, it would be probably a point or two lower. But in the next, I believe, 2 or 3 months, we will have the ability because we would have been in business for 2 years. Tim's projected refi. And this is for North 31st Street. Tim's projected refi. Cool. All right, cool. So it's like I pay my bills inside here, things of that nature. The lender gets to see. So yeah, we're gonna do a total cleanup on this. What I want to do right now is actively go ahead and find all of the leases for all of my properties in West June. So leases together. So for this, I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I'm going to open up my personal Google Drive, and that I want to keep to myself because there's a lot of information in there. By the way, my lenders did not reach back to me yet. Let me give Tanya a call. This is another lender.
Subscriber you have dialed is not in service.
Let's see. Properties. Juneau, West Juneau.
Please leave your message.
Okay, the only lease we have is for Terrence. What I am going to do, however, is I'm going to share this as a link. Copy link. All right, cool. Let's move this, make that a little bit smaller. All right, Terrence is in Juneau. Terrence, lease agreement. Terrence, paste. Oh, let's get Tanya on the phone. Hey, good morning, Tanya.
Hi, Marlon. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. I'm almost saying happy Friday, and it's not even Friday, but I'm thinking, wow, today feels like Friday.
It feels like it, right?
Mhm.
That's a good thing.
Yes, yes. So I've been talking to the lender. I talked to him earlier this morning when you called. I was on a call with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he just needs the straight answers. Is it 40,000 or 310,000? And they would have a problem with having two lenders.
Okay, so here's what I would do, and you let me know. I'm just going to be, totally transparent here with you. Is
Absolutely.
what I would do is I would go ahead and I would get private lending, right, to actually come in and cover the. So I would want to finance through you 425,000, right? What I would
Okay.
do is I would bring in cash through a private lender. I'd bring in the cash and close out the other 310,000, right? So when we at time of close of escrow, there's only one mortgage in place, which is your mortgage. You guys are in the first lien position, right?
Okay.
After that, what I'm going to end up doing is the seller is going to essentially give me a loan back for my 310 that I put into the property. And I'm going to pay that to that seller over time. And they would be in a second lien position, and this would occur after close of escrow.
Okay, so we will continue. No one else would be on a mortgage because that would be two borrowers on a mortgage, and we can't do that. So
Why would there be two borrowers on the mortgage?
I'm sorry.
Why would there be two borrowers on the mortgage?
You're right, and that's why I said that. So it will not be that. That's what he was under the impression. I don't know how he got that, but he got that it will be two on there. When you mentioned something about the it wasn't second that you said. I forgot exactly what you said in that text.
No. Yep.
But you only requesting 425,000.
Right. So exactly. I'm only requesting 425,000 from you. Current as is property value is, about 700. It has the potential to go up as high as 766, with it being updated and upgraded. Now we're going to be doing like the updating, and we're going to be making it a little bit nicer. So like when I put like 50,000 as like the renovation, like essentially that's just going to be like, I'm going to be making this as nice as possible, this property here. But it's already like the property's in good livable condition. It's just dated, but it's a clean property. So it's not like there's any damage. It's just dated.
Right. Okay. And how much money do you have? You said
Right now, cash sitting liquid's like 40,000.
40,000 or 425,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have the 310.
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that. I have a private lending partner who would essentially, they're part of the transaction. They would bring in those funds. So the 310 would be brought to the table by an equity partner, or I mean a lending partner, a capital partner.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. So let me, while it's fresh, because I don't have it in writing, not unless you would like to put it in writing, I can go ahead and explain it to him.
Yeah. Or even if you want, like, if you want to plug him on a call right now, I could speak together with you all as well if you want to do a three-way.
Let me see if I can get him on a call. Usually he doesn't pick up the phone. Let me see if I can get Gil on the call. Just a second. Marlon.
Hey, I'm here.
He didn't pick up. He's quick with answering my text. That's why I was able to get you, text you back as he was talking to me.
Got it.
Get in touch with him via phone.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll go ahead and run this by him, ask him if he's available to talk, and also explain what I can to him.
Okay.
So
right.
For sure.
I mean, the basic idea of it, though, from like the lender's side of things, it's essentially like I'm requesting a $425,000 loan against a property that will appraise at 700 in its current as-is condition, and the purchase price will be a total of 730. In which case, what I will be doing at close of escrow is I will be bringing in the cash for the remainder. So I need to finance 425, and I will bring the remainder of the cash to the table.
Okay. I got that. Okay.
So like ideally what I'm going to do right now, because I do have to get back to this realtor today, like before, like in the next hour, I need to give her some sort of answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my numbers as if like the absolute worst case scenario, I have an 8% interest rate. And if the deal still works at that number, then, great. If it destroys the deal absolutely at that number, then, essentially like that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm trying to run my numbers ultimately to see if the deal still makes sense with, the way interest rates have been looking recently.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, and I can get you some answers in the meantime from the lender.
Awesome, amazing.
He has questions, and I'll just hit you back, and we'll try to get on a three-way call to get this done for you.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that so much, Tanya.
You're welcome. So I will call him. I will text him now and see if he can give me a call.
Okay, amazing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Whew. All right. The fun never ends. All right, so I am missing my lease agreements here. The lease agreements I have are the old lease agreements. So we need updated lease agreements. This lease agreement expired. So what's interesting is Section 8. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not it. So I need to find my updated lease agreements for 2 of my tenants right now on my property. So let's look here and see. Trenton Allison. Guys, you're getting the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mm-mm-mm. $100. So real quick, right now, what I'm doing while I wait for my lenders to give me a call back, I'm just quickly rerunning the numbers here. Insurance, taxes. HOA 120. Okay, taxes are $460. Taxes. Cents is principal. Insurance. Let's imagine insurance is going to be bucks. Cool. And I'm going to call it PI, principal and interest. So let me run the bank rate real quick. So for anyone tuning in right now, what I'm doing currently is I'm just running a very, very rough model number on a potential Airbnb that we would be buying in, I believe this property is in Scottsdale. They currently have a loan on it that they're not letting us take over anymore. They're super close to letting us take over it. So we'd be taking over a $425,000 loan. Let's pretend 0% interest. I'm pretending I have an 8% interest rate. Ugh. Property taxes, let's call it probably 60. Homeowners insurance, let's call it 200. HOA fee, let's call that 120. Right, so we are looking at a pretty hefty monthly payment. Right. So let me actually go back over here to this. My PI was, so essentially at an 8% interest rate, my PI is $3,118. 3,118. Also, I'm not sharing my screen, so you can't see this. And then I would still have to pay the homeowner their equals. Ooh, this still cash flows though. How? How does this still cash flow? B2, B3. Oh, I'm missing B2, that's why. All right, cool. So 5,600. So essentially just shy of 6K. So let me give Caroline a call. Hopefully she's got a minute to talk.
Your call has been forwarded to an
Monthly operating expense or monthly expense. So we got monthly expense would be 56. Income on the slowest month would be 10K. So even with 14% fee, utilities, things of that nature, this property would actually still cash flow. It would just be tight, but I would have the equity build into. I think this is still a deal. So even at 8%, this thing still is a deal, just because it cash flows so freaking heavy, which is so insane. So again, I am not really. All right, let me share with you guys what's going on here. Got a property that would be up in Scottsdale at 8% interest. The numbers work. This is probably 11K a month at 50% occupancy. So we're looking at $10,000 to $11,000 a month at 50% occupancy. The numbers work here. So I'm going to give the realtor a call. And let her know. So let me call the realtor back real quick because I want to get this off my plate for a minute so I can go focus and do the other work that I actually need to do today. Why can't I find the realtor's phone number? Aram, let's give her a call. All right, we're just gonna make an executive decision here.
Hello?
Hey, good morning, Aram. This is Marlon. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Awesome. Yeah, just wanted to give you a ring back. So I just got off my phone with my lender. She's still making sure things work, but I ran the numbers, even with like the worst case scenario, and it still works for me. So if the seller is open to doing that, what we would do is essentially, like I said, we'd clear out that first position mortgage entirely, and then we can do the seller financing on his equity for a 5-year period. And at that point, if he wants to balloon out at 5 years, we can do that. And what I factored in was essentially the $1,800 a month towards him, towards his equity each month. And the numbers I had that you sent over were, I believe it was $460 per month in taxes is what he's paying, and $120 HOA fee.
Yes.
Okay, yep. So with those factored in, let me ask one last thing, actually. Would you, by happen chance, know if the HOA has any issues with the property being used as any form of like rental or corporate rental?
Their agent actually called them and they said that they did not. I guess they tried to get rid of it and they were outdone and they said no. So
Okay.
they are able to do the
Like the VRBO
and
okay.
everything else.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing, is as long as that's able to be done, then this makes sense. So yeah, if he's open to that, if the seller would be open to that proposal there, then that's something that we can do.
So what would be the deposit or the down payment for this?
So essentially the down payment on this would be, wiping out and clearing out his entire first position mortgage. So that's $380,000 right there. It's like essentially like the skin in the game that we'd be putting into the property. And then of course we would still be doing the updates. So essentially we're going to be coming out of pocket about $425,000 or so just to enter the deal.
Okay. Let me let him know, because I know that he wanted to have obviously something in pocket prior to that.
So I don't know that if he's not getting anything as a down payment himself, so it's just going to be all towards the mortgage. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right, it'd be going towards the mortgage and then going towards the actual renovations on once we get into the property, right? Because that's going to be the biggest thing there as well. Because we're going to have to upgrade everything, get everything up and running, as soon as possible. So essentially, he's going to have his equity protected by a fully upgraded home.
Okay, so let me just see. So we're still looking at the 730, right?
Yep. So he'd be getting his full ask.
Whatever what is it, 345 or whatever the payoff amount is. And then what is the total on? So basically like 380, and then so obviously he's going to need to pay for the agent fees. And he's going to need to pay for the closing costs. So that at least needs to come out of the equity of it. So they're going to have to cover that as well in order, because obviously he's not going to want to come out of pocket to pay for those fees.
What's going to be his agent fees? Is it going to be a 3%, 2.5%? How much is that?
It's 4% total on each side.
So 4% total, so 2 and 2?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Let me see what can be done there.
Whatever the closing costs are going to be to do that.
Right. I'll calculate and see what the cost will be, what the closing costs are, and see what can be done there. See if we could somehow pack that into the price.
Okay. Will you just email me those numbers that you have and what you're basically proposing for me to be able to present it to him?
Yeah.
And I can go over this, and then he's going to have more questions. He always does. So I want something in writing to be able to say this is what their offer is at this point.
Okay, when are you going to see him? Because I'm not in front of my computer right now, and I'm getting ready to go check on another property.
I'm not going to see him. I have to email it to him, and he has to take a look at it.
Okay. Is he all right if he gets the email a little bit later this afternoon, or is he like absolutely sitting there waiting, kind of biting his nails, waiting for an email?
He's been waiting.
Got you.
He's been waiting for a long time. Okay. I know you're actually doing something. That's why I'm kind of like holding off. But at the same time, I do need to get this going as fast as possible.
You got it.
So if you can do it by like 2, 3 at the latest, that would be great.
Okay, perfect. So I will look to get that as soon as I finish up with what I'm working on here. That'll be the very next major priority.
Okay, so do I need you guys to get a hold of the agent so you can give her all the details to do this, or are you not ready for that part yet?
Well, let's make sure that if he's on board with this first, then we can get everything passed over to that other agent. Because you're representing him, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And Gail is representing you guys.
Right.
So
yeah, I will. I can get that over to her afterwards. But I mean, the most important thing is if he's open to the idea, I don't see why Gail would have any, kind of issue or anything with it. And then what I'll also.
No, I think at this point, since we're all on the same page and we're actually getting answers, she wouldn't have a problem. Since we weren't getting any answers, she did have a problem. So at this point, I think now that there has been open communication and there's actually things happening, I think people would be more willing to cooperate. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. I totally understand. So what I'll do is work on getting an email over to you. I have your email here. So I can work on getting that email over to you. I should hopefully be done and wrapped up here with this project in the next hour and a half, next 90 minutes to 2 hours. And then
can you just make sure it's detailed?
You're right. So I'll try to put as much detail as I can. I know some people communicate best with email. If worst case scenario, there's something that like just absolutely doesn't make sense, I'll make myself available for a phone call as well. So that way, we don't have to play telephone.
Okay. No, that sounds fine. Or, I can text if there's something else I need besides that. So.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get working on that and I will get that sent over.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You enjoy the rest of the morning.
By the way, one more thing. I know that Caroline was asking for the pool guy that he gave us an estimate for. Are you still looking for that, or am I just crossing that out right now?
You know, if you have the pool guy, I would still love to get a hold of him because that's going to be one of our major expenses on this property.
Okay. Number one, he's a firefighter.
Mhm.
So when you do try to reach out to him, you may not get him on the first or second or third try.
Yep.
Email, text are probably his best source.
Okay,
Just
totally
to give you
understand.
a
Yeah, no,
heads up, because he's not easy to get a hold of because he is a firefighter as well.
yeah, no, I
So-
grew up with firefighters actually, so it's like I know like you know, their schedules get a little wonky and sometimes they're sleeping in the day and sometimes they're out like so.
Right. So he's like 2 days off, 3 days off. I don't know. It's like random. So I just warn people, you know, he's not getting back to you. It's because he does work.
Right.
So just FYI. But I will get that information and I'll email it to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you.
All right, talk soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yo, what's going on? Chilling. I catch you at a bad time?
No, you're good. I was sorry when you called me. I was on the phone with Tanisha. I just got off.
All right, no worries. So yeah, the property, like I ran the numbers really quickly, just as if worst case scenario, it's 8% interest that comes in there. It's still pretty much like low cash flow. It won't be like the most exciting, like, you know, home run of a cash flow, but like essentially total expenses on the worst case scenario that I'm looking at from a standpoint of PITI would be $5,698. So essentially $5,700, right?
Oh, yeah. That's just. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No,
Okay,
so
finish.
yeah, so hear me out. 5,700. We're looking at essentially a cash flow or income. You said of like essentially 10K, or like that's what Hung said. Like, hey, that's conservative. 50% occupancy, 10K a month coming in. You know, so at that point, even with the fees, the management fees, so let's say there's a 14% management fee on that 10K, right? We're looking at essentially, times that by 0.86. Right, we're looking at 8,600 still coming in, so we're still ultimately like in the green, like a $2,900 right there in the green, and then from there, you know, little miscellaneous things. So essentially, this property could still potentially cash flow $2,000 a month on the worst month,
Okay.
right? So from that
yeah.
standpoint, and looking at the fact that the a major portion of that equity, a major portion of that bill would be at 0% interest. That's equity build down, where it's like, all right, cool, like this thing is building down with monthly payments going to him at $1,800 a month for 12 months for 5 years. So times that by 5, we're talking about $108,000 of, you know, essentially equity build down before the balloon happens, and that's at his schedule.
Okay.
You
But
know,
like 5 years. It's still 5 years on the balloon.
it'd still be 5 years on the balloon with an automatic extension if he chose to, you know, not call that balloon. But if he did choose
Okay,
to call
so
that balloon,
I
essentially,
understand that too.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm down with it. So, did did she tell you what the pool quote was? That was my like.
She's emailing over the guy for me. The pool guy's a fireman. I just got off the phone with her. She's sending over his contact info. So then we could reach out to him and get a hold of him and see what the quote would be.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because that was my only concern. Yeah, and just Hung said, take all the carpet out from the main floor, make that all like laminate or tile.
Mhm.
We could go in and paint the cabinets in the kitchen. It needs a fridge. I feel like changing out the fixtures inside would help. I was on the phone with Hung, so you saw me like rapid fire texting you. So I said everything like he was responding or telling me. And as long as we keep it like, take the fence down the back, make it like multiple seated areas so like people can have like get-togethers and shit, like little masterminds or enough space. And we throw a grill back there, we make it look like the property I sent you. He said the inside of this property is not even that great, but if you get a pool table in there and Airbnb is pushing like experiences more. If we could do it that way, it could be on the conservative side, $10,000 a month. Now, if we don't do a good job making it look appetizing, we'd be around like $5,000 a month.
Yeah, I mean that's a big difference. So I mean we'd want to
I
go
know.
all out. I wish I looked at the email in more detail before I like got back on the phone with her, but like I had it in my mind that the underlying mortgage that needs to be cashed out was like around 350. I see that it's actually around 380. So like I was talking to my lender about getting a loan for 425. Ideally had I seen the numbers really, I would have bumped it up. I still can bump it up. It'll change the numbers ever so slightly, but nothing crazy. Actually, let me look right now because I have the mortgage calculator here in front of me.
Okay.
So let's change it to, let's say 450. So it's an additional, 300, like an additional $112 per month. So I would do that. I would get a mortgage for 450 instead of 425.
Okay. And then
And now if the interest rates come in any lower, then I mean it's like definitely way better. Like if we get an interest rate of like 6%, like I mean way better.
Yeah, well, I have, because of like my position and from the Clever Summit, I probably have access to, I mean, a lot of people want to do Gator lending, but I for sure have access to $10 million in private money.
Mm-hmm.
My only concern is I have this one guy that is going in on, I just connected him with another person so I can get a fee on it for a storage unit. He's looking to put $300,000 down to get 49% ownership of a storage unit. But he's got like liquid 1.5 million, I think, right now. And I could make a,
Well, here's the thing. Like, we really don't need much private. Like, we don't like the private. Like, I'm not even concerned about the money at all. Like, that's the super.
I was thinking we just get private money, so we don't have to go through 8% on the Morby method.
Well, how long would they hold the private money for?
That's the only thing. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
I don't know how long I get them to hold.
Yeah, if they're not willing to hold it for like at least like 30 years, or at least like 20 years, like I don't know too many. Like I know there are lenders out there that will hold like a 30-year note.
And stuff too. They can't know all the secret moves.
Even if they do know the secret moves, like people, like some people don't get. Like everyone operates for a different reason. It's like I've just never learned to put it past people. But like there are people that will hold 25-year notes, 30-year notes at like 4 or 5, 6% interest. But ultimately, really like getting, if we could get long-term financing, or even if they were willing to hold the note for at least 10 years, long enough for the property to potentially refi down the road, that would be pretty killer as well.
Let's just stick with the Morby method. But okay, cool. Well, then I'm good with this. I have a guy who, there's the guy who runs my property manager, or the property manager here, his brother is trying to get into construction, and I think I can get us pretty good rates on everything. So we could probably get all of our work done, but as long as we have enough. So with the Morby method, that'll cover us getting enough money for the updates, or do we get a private money loan?
No, so right now, like essentially, if 380, so let's look at it. 380 is gonna be the cost of closing. Now he has fees that he has to pay, like his realtor. There's like 2 realtors on this, right? That's 4% commissions, which is like kind of shitty. Excuse my French. So 730.
No, 100%.
Let's look at closing fees with them, and then regular closing fees. He's gonna have to pay his own closing fees. Like that's gonna come out of his equity, but essentially we'll probably end up covering it. But like that would come out of his portion of the equity, so we'd give him that cash to pay his closing fees. We're looking at, let's call it 6%. I don't know how much it is to close up here, but I'm gonna imagine it's gonna be like 2% of purchase.
Okay.
Like I really don't know. Actually, it can't be that much. Probably less.
What Cody told me it was 1% when I was doing stuff last year.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, like let's call it 1%. So essentially we're looking.
Don't forget, James brought me the deal, so he's gonna need an assignment fee. He's like, I know that you're just gonna give me a wholesale fee here, so $5,000 to him. I don't know.
He could take his assignment fee over time, if he wants the deal to stay alive. I'm just being honest, right? Like it's just.
No, I agree.
So essentially, 36,500 is going to be needed for closing between the realtors and closing fees, and that's with the seller getting no down payment on his equity. So essentially, that is now we're looking at adding that to 380,000. So we're looking at 400.
This is. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
We're looking at being in at 416,500, and then being able to get 450,000 on the Morby method, like, or even let's call it 460, right? Because that number could be played with a little bit easier.
Okay.
To finance that amount of money coming in would be essentially how the deal would get done.
Okay.
So at that point, like, let's say we did that. Let me look at the number. Let's say we're anticipating $50,000 in renovation. Like, we want to have that much in our pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 465,000 is what we would want to borrow. So at that place, we're looking at again, a high interest rate at an 8% interest rate. We're looking at payments of $3,412. So if we look at monthly payments of $3,412, let me 412. See what that adds up to. That adds up to basically just shy of $6,000 a month in like basically all of our PITI altogether.
So wait, so I did the first number plus the 1,800. How are you getting to 6? Because right now I'm at 5,212. How did you get up to almost 6?
You got taxes, you got insurance, you got HOA.
Oh yeah, the HOA.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So call it 6,000. And I was guessing on the insurance because I don't know what the insurance is going to run for an Airbnb. I put $200 a month.
Okay.
Right. Considering that there's a pool there, it could be more, it could be less. I don't know. Like, I know in my neighborhood, I'm able to get like insurance for like $60 on my like long-term rental properties a month.
That's nice.
So I don't know what the insurance would actually be. We'd have to get some quotes, but essentially at $6K a month, that's where the deal would be at.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, as long as you make it look like a dope spot, we could probably get. I mean, art's a write-off. We can get some kind of artist to make a dope wall and make it like a whole like bachelorette party, a bachelor experience or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what people want. They want something cool. They want somewhere cool to come back and relax to.
Yep.
Throw some misters up out on the patio area eventually. Make it like you can be there all year. Golden.
Yep. So I mean, the biggest thing is if we could get the interest rates down too. If the interest rates come down, that will be a big money changer. That would help a lot.
Refi a Morby? I'm assuming you can. I've not watched any of the Morby method stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can refi anything. Like, forget about it being the Morby method. Like, it's just a loan. So you can refi. You're just getting a loan. So loans can be refied if they're in first position. It's just a matter of waiting for the rates to come down. I don't see the rates coming down for at least like another probably like year and a half, 2 years. That's my guess. I got nothing besides like just a feeling of all the information in my brain, but I don't have like any real like facts to be like, hey, this is why that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it just has to be the experience, and then the only other thing is, dude, I'm down to like bring, just because I'm drowning, but I have such a big face. I'm down to partner with you on all the stuff I get in Phoenix here.
Dude, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. What do you need? Anything from me? Can I support you anyway?
I don't think so. Not right now. I'm gonna send over an email when I get a minute to the realtor that's kind of breaking down the numbers. I'm waiting for the lender to get back to me with an interest rate on what they think could be done here. And as of right now, that's where I'm at with this particular deal. Yeah. So I don't think I need anything.
Perfect. So aside from this deal, just because I'm guessing, did you see my emergency announcement yesterday on Facebook?
No.
Okay. Well, so just some behind the scenes things.
Wait. Sorry, y'all. There's certain things I can't tell. What up? Yo, that Daryl? That Daryl Ellison? What up, bro? Yo, I'm about to jump into the virtual office, man. Let me get my lender on the phone, though.
Thank you.
Let me jump into the virtual office as well. Appreciate you, Daryl. What up, fam?
How's London? This is Tim.
Hey, Tim. Good morning, man. It's Marlon.
Hey, Marlon. How's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty well. How about you? How's everything on your end?
Good. Just wrapping up the week, kind of. We're going to be going to Florida on Sunday.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Nice. Is this like personal vacation or like gonna go visit some fam?
Doing some vacation and doing a little bit of house hunting.
Oh, get out of here. Nice. Good luck,
Yeah.
man. it's
Yeah, we found a few. So we have a realtor working with us. So yeah.
Oh, there we go.
We're looking at possibly moving down there. So if we can find something we like, we may pull the trigger.
You guys think you might get anything that like requires a little bit of like updating, or are you gonna look for something like that's totally, turnkey?
Anything that it's going to require, if it does, it's going to be cosmetic, like paint, maybe carpet or tile or something. That's about it for
Nice.
now. And we're going to buy something that's got a big enough lot that's got room to. We're going to design a pool and a lanai and all that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. That's exciting. Getting out of the cold weather, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been here long enough. Been here going on 8 years now since I moved back from out west. So. Yeah, it's time to go again.
There we go. I'm happy to hear that. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to follow up with a few of the refinances.
Yeah.
I know we're getting some paperwork over to you. We're getting some of the lease agreements and things of that nature over to you. We're getting that like stuff wrapped up on our end. There's one of the properties which is, let me open up my notebook here, the 4145 North 51st Boulevard.
Let's see, which one?
4145.
4140, yeah.
Yep, North 51st.
Yep.
So with that one, we're looking to see if there's a closing date. I think we have all the paperwork over for that. So I think, and title, I think Jackie said she's good, so she's just waiting on a closing date from the lenders.
We're still waiting on the appraisal.
Oh, we're still waiting on the appraisal for that one?
Yeah, I haven't gotten the appraisal back yet on this. And I need to check here. Yeah, that was Joe. Let's see what he's saying about appraisals right now. 51st Boulevard, and so he said, yeah, so I think that's done. I'm just waiting on it from Joe. Yeah, he said it was, so last week he said he'll have it to me by Monday morning, which now obviously is Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, I got to touch base again with him because he sent me another email. He's waiting on, he's got a couple he's not getting payments from not you guys, but from different customers. So, but I got to reach out on that one individually and just see if you can send me that report over, because that way we can move that forward.
Okay, awesome. Are we waiting on the same thing with the other properties as well with the 12? So I think that's the only thing we're waiting on then with 51st Boulevard, right? Just the appraisal, I guess.
Take a look here, see if there's any documents outstanding. Do you have a payoff letter from your current?
That payoff letter has been ordered. Could you wait 1 second? I just want to see who this is that's ringing me.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Hey, Tanya.
Hi, Marlon. I just spoke with Gil, and he said he will speak with you now, but if the conversation is going to be about changing their underwriting guidelines, then he cannot talk to you. So I'm just relaying that information.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't want anyone to change any underlying guidelines. Would he actually be available in 5 minutes or so? I actually have one of my other lenders on the phone right now. We're in the middle of refinancing some Milwaukee properties.
Okay.
Sure. If you give me a call back, and then we'll call him.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, sorry about that, Tim.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, so,
Okay, so you ordered a payoff for that one,
yep.
and then we have the previous closing statement.
Yeah, I think, let me see if that got sent over to you. I know we have it.
Okay. And then if you have a current lease,
Yeah, you didn't get that? Let me check. I thought I sent that stuff. 4145.
you may have. I gotta double check.
Oh, it's 51st. Can you send over the existing title policy? So I sent over the title, or I don't think that was me that sent that over.
And title docs. So I got the title docs. I got the
The title and the deed.
warranty deed. Do you own this property for free and clear or no?
Right now we have a private loan on it, like a private lender.
Okay. Okay. So we got, there's the lease. Okay.
Okay, cool. So we got the lease on that one.
Yeah, got the lease. It's funny because, yeah, it's weird. Sometimes it says they don't ask for it. I don't put it in there, but it's in there. So, all right, that's good. So then, yeah, the previous closing statement. I don't have that.
All right.
Here, nope.
That's funny because I think we have that. I think they actually just sent that over. Oh no, it's another thing. Let me look here. 4145 North 51st Boulevard. Yeah, I have the settlement statement right here. I can send over to you.
Okay.
Yep.
And then that'll be it until we get the appraisal. And then once the appraisal is done, we'll send you guys the CDA link, and that'll be it for that one.
Okay, cool. So essentially the closing statement and the payoff.
You know what? Can I give you a call back? I got a guy coming in, a plumber, to fix my spigot outside.
Oh yeah, no
My
worries.
hose kind of broke off.
Yep.
And so anyway, he's showing up right now. But let me give you a call back. Are you going to be available in like 45 minutes?
Yep, should be.
Okay, I'll give you a call back.
All right, thank you, Tim. All right,
Thanks, Ron.
talk soon. Bye-bye. All right, cool. What time? Where is it? All right, cool. Let's get on with. Yo, Daryl, let's do a stream. Let's go find out where Daryl's at. Let's go hop on the stream with Daryl. All right, y'all. This is the Great Escape. I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna log off. Today was a weird, funky, runky day. Only planned on being here for an hour. Actually, I'm gonna need to run for 1 o'clock as well. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'm going to go jump onto Daryl's live stream as well and go get some work done on that side. Peace.